This is Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand for the morning of September 26th, 2022. I'm Wes Mills. Indianapolis International Airport has once again topped the J.D. Power North America Airport Satisfaction Survey for medium-sized airports. It's the third time in the last 4 years the airport has earned the distinction. During an appearance on Inside Indiana Business with Gary Dick, Airport Executive Director Mario Rodriguez said the travel industry is still recovering from the pandemic, but Indy's airport is ahead of the pack.
You talk about a recovery that's happening. It was expected to take several years, beginning to happen now. One indicator, nonstop flights. You lost a lot, and that seems to be coming back.
Well, it seems to be coming back faster than we anticipated, which is good. Although the industry is in a transformative phase right now, we were up to 50 nonstops before the pandemic. We went down to 30. And now we're up to 46 and gaining on that 50 number, which is a magic number, and it's way more than any of our comparable airports in the Midwest have.
To have a smoother trip, Rodriguez recommends passengers not check luggage and take earlier flights in the day. Fort Wayne International Airport has reopened a major portion of its terminal building, which includes 2 new passenger gates and amenities for travelers with disabilities. As part of its West Terminal expansion, the airport relocated its existing Gate 8 and expanded with the additions of Gates 9 and 10. The airport says it also made improvements to passenger amenities. There are new glass passenger boarding jet bridges, additional passenger seating, and new men's and women's restrooms. The Indiana Economic Development Corporation has received a $300,000 grant from the U.S. Small Business Administration to support export opportunities. The IEDC says the funding will directly support the Indiana State Trade and Export Promotion Program, which helps small businesses market and sell their goods in international markets. InStep offers cost reimbursements for expenses related to export activities, including taking part in international trade missions, trade shows, and export educational programs. InStep has helped more than 45 small Indiana businesses that reported export sales of nearly $12 million. From the #1 source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.
Don't miss IBJ's inaugural HR Impact Awards on October 13th. This event will shine a light on the work that goes into creating a great team. Join us to hear from leaders who have implemented innovative human resources initiatives in the areas of diversity and inclusion, talent recruitment, employee experience, and training and development. RSVP by October the 5th at ibj.com/events.
Purdue University says it will reimagine its current School of Management into a new School of Business. The university says the plan includes doubling the size of its existing building and an expansion of faculty and student enrollment. Purdue says it will make a substantial investment in the effort, though a specific dollar figure was not immediately given. It's not clear that the school will maintain the Krannert name. Purdue says it plans to institute the first phases next fall. Humankind, an e-commerce startup that launched last fall out of Indianapolis-based venture studio High Alpha, has closed on a $4 million round of seed funding. Humankind is a software-as-a-service company whose platform allows retailers to make personal connections with online customers via text messaging. The platform also allows retailers to stay in touch post-purchase, perhaps to alert customers of upcoming sales or promotions. Indianapolis-based Horizon House says it's on track to reach record job placements this year through its RISE program. The nonprofit says the program, which helps homeless Hoosiers get jobs, has placed 100 people this year. Horizon House says it helps job seekers with applications, resume writing, mock interviewing, and appropriate clothing for interviews. Indiana University biology professor Roger Innes is part of a research team to receive a $1.2 million grant from the U.S. Department of Agriculture to develop disease-resistant wheat and barley. The researchers are specifically focused on Fusarium head blight, which threatens wheat production worldwide. FHB not only reduces yield and grain quality, but it can contaminate grain with mycotoxins. When that happens, the grain is unusable for human food or livestock feed.
And the reason it's so important is that currently we're spending over $1 billion every year to control that disease through direct and indirect consequences of it. The major cost right now actually is what farmers spend on spraying fungicides on the wheat plants. The second cost is, even with that sort of control with fungicides, some wheat gets infected, then that wheat has to be discarded due to contamination by mycotoxins, which are toxins produced by the fungus.
The researchers are using genome editing technology to alter the plant's immune system with the goal of making the crop resistant to infection.
And so this research builds on research that we started over 20 years ago, just trying to understand how plants detect pathogens naturally in the first place. Because it turns out plants do have a robust immune system, but it breaks down if it doesn't have the right sensor or receptor, as we call them, to detect the pathogen. In the case of wheat, there's no naturally occurring wheat variety that has a sensor that tells it when it's been infected by this Fusarium fungus.
Filings for new home construction continued to slow last month, according to the Builders Association of Greater Indianapolis. Builders in the 9-county central Indiana area filed about 600 single-family building permits in August, down 20% from the same month of 2021. Permit filings have fallen on a year-over-year basis for the past 8 months. Rising mortgage rates, supply chain issues, increasing cost, and limited lot availability are hampering the market, according to industry experts. I'm Wes Mills, Inside Indiana Business, Radio on Demand.